This is the BGG Climbers list for the week ending 9/8/2021. This list is put together every week by Michael Alexander. And this week we have a bunch of new stuff, so let's get into it. So we'll start with the sub 10 games real quick. One is Oath. So Oath continues to do well. It's actually doing well enough. I think this will hit the top 100 at some point. Better than I expected for this game because it's a very unusual game. And it's, I think, a little bit polarizing, but it's doing well. It's not going to end up as popular as Root for sure, but for its price point and also for what it does differently than a lot of other games. So that's Root. What else do we see? Terraforming Mars. This one's doing well. Its rating is, I guess, it's staying mostly sub 8, which might keep it out of the top 100. But let's see. Let's wait on this. Meadow continues to do well, although not as well as it was doing. It started off very strong, and it's been falling a little bit. Maybe the lightness of it, maybe that Cascadia came out and it seems to be doing better. Hard to say with that one. And Brew, it's doing okay. I think it's a really good-looking game that maybe... I think there's like some weird... or not as good of a decision space as some other games. But I think it'll do well with its intended audience. Number 10 is Cascadia. So we saw earlier, it started off very strong. Actually, this week, it's not doing as well as its previous rating. So we'll see. I mean, this one seems to be getting higher than 8 very consistently. But how well it, or if it can hit the top 100, depends on how it does in the next couple thousand ratings. It's already at 792. I think it's got to stay in the upper 7s at least pretty consistently over the next couple thousand ratings. That's number 10, Cascadia. Number 9 is Mini Rogues. We saw this game last week. It's a 9-card print and play that became a published game, similar to, I think, Falling Skies was also a 9-card print and play, but maybe not. Maybe that one was just a print and play. Anyway, Mini Rogue looks really good. I think the price point is good. We'll see if it stays high. I mean, obviously, the fans of the print and play bought it first, but it is getting a lot of ratings. So let's see on this one. That's number 9, Mini Rogue. Number 8 is the Crew Mission Deep Sea. So this is the Crew 2, and I actually haven't read any reviews on it. I'm sure if it does things as well as the Crew and maybe improves on it, makes some new unique gameplay mechanisms or ways to use the cooperative trick taking, it's going to do well. And it clearly seems to be doing exceedingly well. The Crew is an amazing game. I'm sure this is that's number 8, the Crew Mission Deep Sea. One thing I'll add is the Crew made me realize that I don't dislike all trick-taking games, just all but the Crew, pretty much. So 7 is So Clover. So this game, I guess a lot of people bought it and rated it earlier. Maybe there was really high hopes for them or for this game. I don't think this one, it's a party game. Very hard for a party game to get in the top 100. And this one probably isn't going to make it. No matter how good it is, it's just very hard for a party game to get there because of the audience on BGG. That's So Clover. Number 6 is Coco Pelli. So this one is a Queen game release, and it's been out for a little while and getting a decent number of ratings. Does this say Kickstarter? Nope, it's available on Amazon. So this one is a hand management game. You get a card deck, and you get 3 of each ceremony card. Each player boards 4 ceremonies. Interesting. The one thing I'll say is that I don't think a lot of the Queen Games productions have kept up with the times. This looks okay for 2000 to 2010 maybe, but it doesn't look at the level that we see board games. It does have an insert, which are work in progress games for insert. So maybe this was a Kickstarter at some, because I know Queen Games is doing a lot of Kickstarters. It doesn't say on here that it was. Yeah, it was a Kickstarter with this. So maybe it is a Kickstarter right now. It looks okay. I mean, I think the gameplay for a lot of Queen games are pretty good. This is on the lighter side for Queen games. It is by Stefan Feld, though. I didn't even realize this. So this is a Stefan Feld game with the typical. It looks like the typical Stefan Feld production, but it's got to be one of his lightest games. So maybe the combination of Stefan Feld plus light is going to make for a great game. It's hard to say. We'll have to see on this. I'm a big fan of Bonfire with the plays I've had of it, and I just think that finally took Stefan Feld to the let's make a good looking game place. I actually thought Castles of Burgundy, the second edition or the anniversary edition, could have been looking better. Maybe they want to keep the price down, but I think if they would have made like a really good looking Castles of Burgundy, it would have sold even better. So that is Coco Pelli. Interesting. I didn't expect Stefan Feld to make that light of a game, but let's see. It's not getting amazing ratings initially, but I mean, I would say not all of Stefan Feld's games are. So this could maybe be, and also it's a lighter game. I think a lot of the fans really like his heavy. Number 5 is Tinner's Trail. So this game is doing pretty decently. It looks maybe like a Kickstarter too. So let's see what re-implements Tinner's Trail crowdfunding Kickstarter. Yeah. So this one is a Kickstarter game by Martin Wallace. I guess I didn't even know he did this game. So, and it re-implements the earlier version of Tinner's Trail, which, wow, that is not a. I guess it's an okay looking game. I kind of like the colors on it. The box cover is definitely not good. Let's take a look at these pictures here. So, I like they kind of did the bright color scheme with this, with some better artwork on the board. I'd say the artwork looks better for sure. And let's see here. Action points, auction, dice rolling, time track. 1 to 5 instead of 3 to 4. I rarely play a 5-player game just because I feel like dual use cards. So it's got some good updates to it. I don't know. I tend to kind of stay on the fence with Martin Wallace games until they get some reviews out there. Although this one is relatively inexpensive, so maybe we'll take it up. I do think his best game is probably Brass Birmingham, which is essentially a game that he created and then someone co-designed and modified him. I think improved it. That is Tinner's Trail. It's going to be hard to say if this one's going to do well or not. I feel like Martin Wallace's games are either are hit and miss. Just like any designer, you can have better and worse games. That's number 5, Tinner's Trail. Number 4 is Witchstone. So I feel like I remember this game. Maybe on Kickstarter? It doesn't say Kickstarter. So maybe I saw some preview or something. So this is card drafting, in-game bonuses, network road building, and 2.6 on the weight. So let's see. Interesting. I don't know. It's got some stuff going on. It kind of looks. To me, it almost looks like it might have some stuff that going on like Bonfire had, but with network and route building. So we'll have to see on this one. I'm not sure. It's starting off a little bit weak, but it's always hard to tell with the first 100 on any game. So, and it's a Reiner Knizia game. So maybe, he's got a lot of really positive games out there, or it could be just one of his other games. So let's see. Witchstone, number 4. Number 3 is Descent Legends in the Dark. So this game, it looks like all the people that didn't like the pricing of it or something about it are no longer rating it anymore. And now the people that are rating this are people that love Descent and really like what this is. I think it got a really positive review from No Pun Included as well, which probably helped it. I think other reviews were kind of mediocre on it. I mean, the dungeon crawler genre itself has gotten very crowded. I mean, the number 1 game and probably number 2 game will both be Gloomhaven, which are both dungeon crawlers. But even with that, I think in the top 100, there's at least like 5 or 6 dungeon crawlers, which is, 5 to 6% of the entire top 100 is just dungeon crawlers doing different things. So maybe even more. It could be more. So Descent, Legend of the Dark, I do think it's a very likely situation where this will be in the top. So let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is Ankh. So this game is getting even more positive ratings. So this is looking like, in general, I think people, at least the people rating in the last couple weeks, feel the same way I do. That it's, I think, better than Rising Sun, but worse than Blood. I think that's where it'll probably land on the list. Probably in the top 100. I do think the pieces don't look as good as Blood Raid, as good as Rising Sun. The Rising Sun dragons and stuff just looked amazing. But there's only so much you can do with the Egyptian thing. You have to stick to the Egyptian art and the Egyptian stuff. You can't just put dragons in it. I guess you could, but it wouldn't be Egyptian theme then. So I do think this will probably hit the top 100 at this point, and I think that it's a solid game, but probably not one I will own. Number 2, Ankh. Number 1, Regicide. So we looked at this one. We've seen it for the last few weeks. It's a cooperative card game. It's actually picking up steam a little bit. So, it started off fairly strong and now came down a little bit, and now it's rising back up. Again, we're only at 440 ratings, so it'll be hard to tell how this is going to end up doing, but I do think it probably won't hit the top 100 just because it's starting off. So, things tend to get a little bit weaker from here on. So that's number 1 for this week, Regicide. Again, if you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and I will include links in the description for the Geeklist. Thank you.